Hello students, we are going to discuss our third module, that is product and price. So first of all, product. What is a product? A product is anything that could be offered to satisfy consumers' needs and wants. According to Jobber, a product is anything that has the ability to satisfy a customer need. Levels of product: core, basic, expected, augmented and potential product. Customer value hierarchy depict ചെയ്ത് കാണിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നു. It is shown. The term product concept was used by Theodore Levitt. According to him, product concept refers to the augmented product or the aggregate of satisfactions that a user obtains. Classification of products or goods: non-durable goods, durable goods and services. On the basis of consumption, goods can be classified into two: consumer and industrial goods. Consumer goods are those which are purchased for final consumption. Example: toothpaste, milk, etc. Characteristics of consumer goods: final consumption, finished products, utility, associated services, brand name, symbolism, communication packages, numerous buyers, small quantity purchase, personal consideration. Classification of consumer goods: convenience goods, shopping goods, specialty goods and unsought goods. FMCGs, fast moving consumer goods. It may be defined as products that have a quick turnover and relatively low cost. FMCGs are also known as CPGs, consumer packaged goods. They are further classified into three: staple, impulse and emergency goods. Next, it is about industrial goods. They are meant for use in the production of other goods or for some business or institutional purposes. Classification of industrial goods: they are mainly classified into the following 6 categories: raw materials, capital equipments, accessory parts, component parts, supplies, industrial or professional services. Difference between industrial goods and consumer goods: industrial goods are used by producers. Here they are used by final consumers. Demand for industrial goods derives from consumer goods. Here it is direct or primary demand. Industrial goods are available for further production. Here it is for final consumption. Volume of purchase of industrial goods is high. Here it is low. Channel of distribution is short. Here it is long. In the case of industrial goods, advertising and sales promotion play a minor role. Then in case of consumer, it is major role. Industrial goods, number of buyers is few. Here it is large. Then they require, or we can say that they require further processing before they can be finally consumed. Consumer goods are ready for consumption and do not require any further processing. Product line: it refers to a group of closely related products or product items that are physically similar or are intended for a similar market. Factors determining product line decisions: consumer preference, strategies and tactics of competitors, firms' cost structure, change in demand, buying habits and patterns, marketing influences, product influences, company objectives, product specialization and line modernization. Product line modification: അതിനകത്ത് product line contraction, product line expansion വരുന്നുണ്ട്. It is a method by which a fat or long product line is thinned out. It is also termed as simplification. Product line expansion diversification എന്ന് പറയുന്നു. It refers to adding new product to the existing list. Product cannibalization അതിൻ്റെ അകത്ത് വരുന്നത് തന്നെയാണ്. Means one product in a product line eating away at the sale of another. Changing models or styles of the existing product. Consumers' fashion, taste, preference, etc. are constantly changing. Necessary changes should be made in the existing products according to the latest desires and needs of the consumers. This process is known as product modification. Quality variation. Under certain circumstances, a manufacturer is forced to produce a particular product in different qualities. The process of changing the quality falls under two heads: trading up and trading down. Trading up, the process of introducing higher quality products by a manufacturer is termed as trading up. The process of introducing lower quality products in the place of higher quality products already in the market with a view to increase sales is called trading down. Product mix is the total list of products which a firm offers to its buyers. It is the complete list of all the products offered for sale by a firm. It is also called a product portfolio or product range or product assortment. A product mix has four characteristics: length, width, depth, and consistency. Length of product mix refers to the total number of items in its product mix. Width or breadth of the product mix refers to the number of different product lines. Depth of the product means the average number of product items within each product line. Consistency refers to relationship among product lines. Then it is about factors influencing product mix: change in demand, change in population, change in consumers' income, consumers' behavior, marketing influences, production efficiencies, financial influences, use of waste, competitor strategy, and profitability. Then it is about branding. Branding simply means naming a product for its identification and distinction. Picton and Broderick describe branding as strategy to differentiate products and companies and to build economic value for both the consumer and the brand owner. Brands have two parts: brand name and brand mark. Trademark, it is a legal term. So brand, brand name, brand mark, trademark, and copyright are collectively known as language of branding. Difference between brand and trademark: name, symbol, design, or combination of these three. Trademark, it is a registered brand, can be copied, cannot be copied, limited scope, wide scope. All brands are not trademarks. All trademarks are not, we can say that all brands are not trademarks. I repeat, all trademarks are brands. Generally a symbol of the qualities of the product, generally a symbol of its company. Elements of a brand: name, logo, tagline, shapes, brand faces, graphics, color, sounds, movement, smells, taste. Reasons or objectives or functions of branding: it plays an important role in demand creation and pushing up sales. Product attractive and popular: identifying the product and distinguish it from the goods of competitors. It helps in advertising and sales promotion programs. It ensures uniformity of quality and satisfaction to buyers. It helps the manufacturers in introducing their new products in the market successfully. It helps the seller or manufacturer to earn goodwill or prestige. It develops brand loyalty and consumer preference. Essential or characteristics of good brand: the word selected for branding must be simple and easy to pronounce. It should be simple and memorable. It must be attractive to the eyes and pleasing to ears. The trade names must provide necessary suggestions about the product's benefit. The name should be appropriate and suitable to the product. It should suggest some product quality. It should be illustrative and clearly distinctive from other brands. It should not be outdated. Advantages or importance or functions of branding. Advantages to manufacturers: it helps in advertising and display programs. It helps to control the market. It improves the product differentiation effort. It creates goodwill for the product. It helps to maintain price stability. It helps to reduce market expenses. It facilitates the expansion of the product mix. It facilitates introduction of new products. It creates brand loyalty. Advantages to consumers: branded products are believed to deliver better quality. It is an easy way to identify products. Branded goods are usually sold in sealed packages. This gives protection to the goods from heat, moisture, dust, etc. Consumers can get products of uniform standard and design. It makes shopping easier. It assures prices to consumers. Advantages to distributors. It reduces the selling efforts. It helps in advertising and sales promotion programs. There is stability in the prices of branded products. It reduces cost of distribution. It helps to find out quickly moving products easily. Packaging refers to the activities of wrapping or enclosing the product in a container to facilitate transportation, storage, sale, or consumption. Difference between packing and packaging. Packing means putting articles into small packets or boxes or bottles for sale to ultimate consumers or for transport. Packaging, on the other hand, is undertaken by manufacturers. Packaging is more concerned with the protection activity, while packing is more concerned with the transportation. Role or functions or objects of packaging: protection, convenience, promotion, identification, branding, and information. Advantages of packaging. Advantages to marketer: protects the products from being damaged or spoiled, promotes product, facilitates storage and transportation, helps in branding, enhances goodwill, acts as silent salesman. Advantages to middlemen: facilitates transportation and storage, easy display, keeps the product fresh and clean, self-advertising. Advantages to consumer: convenient handling, less possibility of adulteration, information regarding use and upkeep, easy identification. Requisites of a good package: it should suit to the product, it must protect the contents, it must meet the requirements of different segments of consumers who have different levels of income, it must be attractive, durable, its cost should be reasonable. Then it is about price. It is the amount paid by the buyer to the seller for a product. In the words of David J. Schwartz, price is the money you pay for any product or service. Objectives of pricing: to maximize profit, to maintain or improve the market share, to achieve a desired rate of return on investment, to meet or prevent competition, to stabilize the product prices, to mobilize resources for development and expansion, to build image and enhance goodwill. Importance of price. Price is very important not only from the viewpoint of the firm but also from the viewpoint of the consumers and society. Price is important to the producer because it is the only source of his income. It enables him to plan his products. It helps him to withstand competition. It is a weapon of stimulating or regulating demand for a product. It helps in comparing the products of the same category. Price is important to the consumer because it is the means by which he secures want satisfaction. It may act as indicator of quality. It helps to make his income allocation decisions. Price is important to the society because it is the mainstay of the economic system and it is the principal instrument for the proper allocation of resources. Factors influencing pricing decisions are pricing policies, internal factors, cost, objectives, organizational factors, marketing mix, product differentiation, product life cycle, external factors, demand, competition, distribution channels, general economic conditions, and government policy. Pricing strategies. A pricing strategy is a special kind of plan formulated in order to meet the challenge of external factors, particularly from the policies of competitors. In the words of Thompson, strategies are means to ends, and these ends concern the purpose and objectives of the organization. They are the things that businesses do, the paths they follow, and the decisions they take in order to reach certain points and levels of success. Difference between pricing policy and pricing strategy. Pricing policy is general while pricing strategy is specific. Pricing policy is for the longer period while pricing strategy is a temporary measure. Steps in pricing strategies: selecting the target markets, studying consumer behavior, identifying competition, assigning price a role in the marketing mix, relating cost and demand, determining strategic prices. Important pricing strategies: psychological, geographical, base point pricing, zone, dual, administered, markup, product line, captive product pricing, and price bundling. Price adjustment strategies: discount pricing and allowances, discriminatory pricing, psychological pricing, promotional pricing, value pricing, and international pricing. Then it is about price discrimination. It is the act of selling the same product at different prices to different buyers during the same period of time. Types of price discrimination: personal, local, trade, time, and age discrimination. Conditions for price discrimination: there must exist two or more markets which are separated from each other. The elasticities of demand in each market must be different. There must be effective separation of the submarkets so that the customers of the low priced product, or we can say low priced market, do not resell the product in the high priced market. The marginal revenue in each market should be greater than the marginal cost of the monopoly good. Methods or strategies of pricing of new products. In pricing a new product, generally two types of strategies are suggested. First one, skimming price policy, refers to the high initial price charged when a new product is introduced in the market. Reasons for adopting this strategy are: in the initial stage of the introduction of a product, demand is relatively inelastic. To recover the heavy expenditure incurred on research, development, advertisement, and sales promotion of new product, when there are no close substitutes, elasticity of demand is not known. Buyers have no measuring rod for comparing value and utility to attract the consumers of high income group. Then it is about penetration price policy. It is the practice of charging a low price right from the beginning to stimulate the growth of the market and to capture a large share. The policy is found successful in the following conditions: product has high price elasticity in the initial stage. The product is accepted by a large number of customers. Economies of large scale production are available to a firm. The potential market for the product is fairly large and has a good deal of future prospects. When the cost of production is low, to introduce the product into the market to discourage new competitors when most of the firms are from low income group. Discounts. Meaning of discounts: the seller generally allows some concessions in the price to buyers. This is known as discount. Following are most common discounts. First one, trade discount. These are allowed by manufacturers to wholesalers or by wholesalers to retailers. It is also called a functional discount. Advantages: it provides for marketing services rendered by retailers. Price structure flexible ആക്കാൻ. It helps in adjusting between the price and current market price until the new price list is printed. Then it is about quantity discount. It is allowed by a seller to encourage buyer to buy in bulk or large quantity. Advantages: it encourages bulk purchases. Slow moving goods can be sold faster. It stabilizes orders irrespective of changes in season. Seasonal discount. It is a discount offered during off seasons. Cash discount is a rebate or a concession given by the creditor to the debtor in the amount due for the early payment. Advantages of cash discount: it encourages timely payments. It improves liquidity position of the manufacturer. The risk of bad debts is reduced. Secret or confidential discount: this is given only to certain favored or preferred customers in order to retain their patronage in the belief that they are valuable or prestigious customers. Chain discount: it is a number of different discounts taken sequentially from the suggested retail price. Then it is about pricing policies, which represent the general framework within which pricing decisions are taken. In short, pricing policy is the policy adopted to determine the price of a product. According to Cundiff and Still, pricing policies provide the guidelines within which pricing strategy is formulated and implemented. Methods of pricing: There are three basic pricing policies: cost-based pricing, demand-based pricing, and competition-based pricing policies. Cost plus pricing ആണ് ആദ്യം വരുന്നത് കോസ്റ്റ് ബേസ്ഡ് പ്രൈസിങ് പോളിസിയിൽ. അണ്ടർ ദിസ് മെത്തേഡ് ദ പ്രൈസ് ഈസ് കമ്പ്യൂട്ടഡ് ബൈ ആഡിങ് എ സർട്ടൻ പെർസെൻറ്റേജ് ഓഫ് പ്രോഫിറ്റ് ടു ദി കോസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ദ പ്രോഡക്ട്സ് പെർ യൂണിറ്റ്. Advantages: this method is appropriate when it is difficult to forecast the future demand. It guarantees recovery of cost. Set the price easily. Both single product and multi-product firms can apply this method. It ensures stability in pricing. Then it is adopted by all firms within the industry. The problem of price war can be avoided. Then it is about target pricing. Under this method, the cost is added with a predetermined target rate of return on capital invested. Advantages: it guarantees a certain rate of return on investment. This method can be used for pricing new products. Prevention is better than cure principle is applied in this method. This is a long-term price policy. Marginal cost pricing. Under this method, the price is determined on the basis of marginal or variable cost. Advantages: this method is very useful in a competitive market, helps in optimum allocation of resources, most suitable method for short-run pricing. It is very useful at the time of introducing a new product. Break-even pricing. Under this method, the firm determines the price at which it will break even. It is the point at which the total costs are equal to total cost, that is no profit, no loss point. Demand-based pricing policy, it includes differential and premium pricing. Under this method, the same product is sold at different prices to different customers in different places and at different periods. Premium pricing, it is based on the principle that the product or brand should be positioned at the top of the market and must offer greater value in qualitative terms than similar brands in other price segments. Competition-based pricing policy, it includes going rate policy. It is the method of charging prices according to what competitors are charging. Advantages: avoiding cutthroat competition among the firm. It is found more suitable when costs are difficult to measure. It is less expensive because calculation of cost and demand is not necessary. Then it is suitable to avoid price war in oligopoly. It can be used for pricing new products. Customary or conventional pricing, these are prices fixed by custom or tradition. The price will charge only when the cost changes significantly. Advantages: it is simple to follow. It avoids a price war between competitors. It brings harmony and stability in the market. Thank you all.